Heads up, that buying a commercial property is definitely not a straightforward transaction at all.
Because they are paying fat personal tax to the IRAS, really fat.
More than 20% based on personal tax
It
bracket.
is very, very painful. For Singapore tax rate is 17%. It's pretty flat. And if you were to break it up, there is this term called the SPV. You can have each private company to owns each property and to just break them up. The share transfer stamp duty is only like 0.2%. Compared to owning an individual level, let's say Jared owns a commercial property in his personal name, for the transfer to me, it will be a 4%.
4%.
Ouch. What we have done differently, number one,
Alright, a big warm welcome to this brand new podcast series, The Strategic Side of Real Estate. Thank you everyone for tuning in. As we know that buying a real estate today is not just a simple transaction. It usually involves many multi-dimensions. But in today's episode, I'm super excited because it's very different from the other episodes. Today, if you're a buyer, actually, if you have kind of like exhausted all your names buying residential property, you might be in a position to be kind of like contemplating towards buying a commercial property. Now, let me just do a quick heads up that buying a commercial property is definitely not a straightforward transaction at all. Who you really want you to have your backing is definitely a corporate secretary. So today's episode is really about the corporate shield. I'm so honored and happy to have Tina, who brings in years of experience as a corporate secretary, helping many of her clients properly structure their commercial property ownership. Tina, thank you for coming here today. Can you just give the audience a quick introduction of yourself?
All right, thanks, Jared. Hi, everyone. Tina here. So I help companies in their corporate secretary compliance, especially with directors when managing their private limited companies in Singapore. Right.
Awesome. For a start, let's just help the audience understand a little bit. What exactly is a corporate secretary? I mean, someone who is a like layman, they wouldn't know about what a corporate secretary does. Can you just share the
Definitely. So, Jared, so this is a very, it seems to me it's a very simple question, but along the years, I realized that, hey, many individuals aren't sure what is it about and what does corporate secretary does. So basically, we are, I see corporate secretary as we are the business nanny holding the corporate governance of their Singapore companies in Singapore. In any case, every company after 6 months, it's a requirement. You need to have a company secretary to take care of your compliance, annual returns, director resolutions with your directors, and reporting to the ACRA at least minimally on an annual basis.
Okay, I'm just gonna help myself a little bit. I'm just gonna stop saying corporate secretary because it's such a mouthful. I'm just gonna say corpsec. Is that
Okay. All right. No, so you're right in a way that in the industry, in many business owner, when they come to me, they say, hey, corpsec service. So if you know, you will know. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's just do as corpsec. Okay, now thank you for sharing what a corpsec does, but how does it relate to property ownership? Because a lot of the buyers out there, they're watching, they really want to buy a property, commercial property specifically. How does a corpsec actually help these people to get started?
Yes, definitely. Thanks, Jared. So for us in corporate secretary, one of the pillar group of clients that we assisted a lot in property investor. So basically, this group of people, they go into buying commercial properties. So next question. Yeah, I keep talking about commercial properties. So what about residential? So actually, it doesn't make sense to most of us to using a corporate entity company to buying a residential property because there is this tax ABSD, right? 60 over percent.
ABSD.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense unless you have so much cash on hand. Foreigners, maybe, they see huge potential in the residential market in Singapore and they're willing to pay. Why not? Maybe. So I have not met them yet. Maybe I'll be able to meet them. But what I've seen is really the Singapore business owner buying the commercial properties in Singapore using the corporate entity companies.
Let's break it down for the audience. Why would someone consider actually buying a property under a company name versus using their own personal name to buy? Let's break it down.
That is a very good question. But before I go direct to answering the questions, right? Can I share this client of mine?
Yes, please.
Okay. This client of mine, he's in his 70s. Husband, wife, married, And apparently they have 3 commercial properties under their joint name,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So one couple own 3 commercial property and residential property all in their personal name.
Yeah.
They run a small business.
Right.
With all the commercial property, they earn pretty comfortable rental income. So I have been serving them very long. Unfortunately, I wasn't old enough to serve them right at the start. What
Got
does it
it.
mean? Why? Because they are paying fat personal tax to the IRAS. Really fat.
Okay.
Yeah. So why? Because
Yeah.
when they buy the commercial property under their personal name, the net, the net after removing all the expenses, right? They are all 100% personally taxed at their personal level. It's ouch. It's pretty painful. It's very painful. Yeah. And you see, if you understand the Singapore tax rate, there's this bracket and the percentage, right? It will just go lower and lower and lower, and you will pay very high tax lah. Yeah, so they are in their 70s, still drawing comfortably their rental income. So you can imagine, each commercial property, maybe they draw 20,000 a month of rental income.
Wow.
3 commercial properties would be 60,000.
A month.
Yeah, a month. Husband, wife split,
Wow. Okay.
30,000 a month for each husband and wife times 12 months.
So on an annual basis, you could be looking at $500,000 of taxable income. At a personal level, which I would assume at that kind of level, you'll be taxed at more than 20% based on personal tax
It
bracket.
is very, very painful. Yeah. So every year I have to review their personal tax and find ways on how to help them to reduce their personal tax. So there may be some ways. Of course, I would say the tax optimization, right? Yeah, but it is very painful. So the thing is, unfortunately, I wasn't there 40 years ago when they buy the properties, right?
Now, I really love
Yeah.
that example. So if let's say should they have met you
Mm.
right from the very beginning, and
Yes.
you have structured it right from the very
Definitely
beginning,
very different already.
and today, what kind of tax would they have been paying instead?
So if right from the start I have known them, I would have actually directly, advise them to buy the commercial property under a company. Yeah, and the tax rate for Singapore tax rate is 17%. It's pretty flat and
It's flat, yeah.
comfortable. And if you were to break it up, there is this term called the SPV, right? So it's basically just like any Singapore company. You can have each private company to owns each property.
Okay.
And to just break them up. And most importantly, at the time where you purchase the commercial property, you very likely you have to pay the GST. Right.
All right.
So
Okay.
percentage back then Singapore maybe 7%, 8%, now 9%, for that one-time amount of GST is ouch. Very painful again. So the thing is, if you were right from the start, I would know this client at the start before they go into their purchase with the property agents so eagerly to secure the property, right? I would advise them immediately, quickly set up on a company, get a GST registered, and then kickstart with the purchase.
So you're saying that if let's say a property was to be owned as under a company, there will be GST savings.
Exactly, definitely. Yeah, then you have GST saving as you can claim back the GST that you're bound to have to pay. But that again, it means your rental income, if you were to use it for rental income purpose, you will have to charge that GST. And usually, likely when you are buying commercial property, very likely your tenant,
Your
which
landlord.
your customer,
okay.
your tenant, your customer are a company as well.
Yeah.
And it really depends. If their GST registered to them is,
Yeah.
they can claim it back anyway. Yeah, it's normal.
Okay, so if I just break that down, thank you, Tina. Really golden nuggets. In short, I think my takeaway is that if you are buying under a company, you essentially save not only personal tax from IRAS, and also you save the GST portion with IRAS as well. So there's the 2 buckets of savings, which does it cost us anything to kind of buy it under company? Just want to set some context.
Save any cost?
Like let's say if a buyer were to buy under a company, is there an additional cost they have to be aware about?
Okay, I would say the compliance cost.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us more about that.
Yeah, compliance cost to me is every time you set up a company, you do need to budget some compliance costs. It can cost budget like few $1,000s a year. First, incorporation. Second, the annual corporate secretarial fee. You have to upkeep the compliance with ACRA. Third, accounting fee. Fourth, GST registration and quarterly GST filing, computations and filing, and corporate tax. So I would say all these 5 things that we talk about is you can easily find any accounting firm or CSP service provider to help you to take care of everything. Pretty hassle free actually.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like very low cost, low hassle to kind of like set up your own private limited
Yeah.
for the purpose of a bigger kind of savings.
Exactly. So the cost and benefit thinking, you look at the big picture, definitely that is like it's nothing. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Now, what are so we talked about a little bit of benefits and downsides, but generally, what do you think are, do you feel like there's any risk or downsides if someone were to buy under company?
Downside.
Mm.
Wow, I can't think of any right now.
So it's all good. So just really going through probably having to get in touch with a company, Verti,
Yes.
other service provider to have
Yes.
that incorporation services.
Exactly. But I think one of my favorite, advantages about having a company to own commercial property is the ownership. There are easy transfer of ownership. So take for example, we keep it very simple and domestic. Father, mother bought commercial property and some residential property. So when they set up a company, let's say they have met me, they set up a company and they look out for you to buy, let's say, some Serangoon commercial property.
Right.
So then they happily bought the purchase and have their happy rental income year and year. Maybe by the time they reach the age of 50, let's say they have 2 grown-up children.
Yep.
And for some reason, they would like to do some structuring and why not to transfer some of their shares to their children, let's say. I mean, it's possible. We talk about legacy, talk about exit plan, and push slowly as you grow older. Maybe you don't really need that much cash, and slowly exit, and then make the children pay the corporate tax, make the children pay the compliance costs at their prime.
Awesome. What are some of the key benefits? So we mentioned about a lot of the savings, the tax savings, the GST savings. Let's talk a little bit about exit.
Yep.
All right. I hearsay, but I need your confirmation. That's easier kind of to exit if I'm holding a commercial property under a company. Can you just share with the audience a little bit about that?
Of course. So that's the difference, right? Being an individual buying property or using a company. So, okay, take a step back. When you set up a company in the legal, right, in the Companies Act, right, a company is seen as a separate legal entity as the individual.
All right.
This one, not everybody can understand. Yeah, basically it means the law see you are the director and the company are separate. Yeah. So in a way, if let's say I myself, Tina, I own a company ABC and I buy a commercial property, let's say in Serangoon. So it is the company that owns the Serangoon property, and it's not me, Tina Tan, who owns the commercial property. But of course, Tina Tan maybe is the 100% shareholder lah. 100% shareholder and director lah. And if for whatever reason I have very fat rental business the rental market has been doing very well, and I wants to sell, I can easily, hey Jared, you want to buy my Serangoon property or not? Friendship price lah, whatsoever. Then I will just look for my corporate secretary to do this, share transfer. And directly Tina, who is the 100% shareholder of this ABC company, becomes Jared. Becomes the 100% owner of the ABC company that owns the Serangoon commercial property. To me, that is much hassle-free. Yeah.
What kind of savings are we talking about when it comes to share transfer?
I think this one you know pretty well as well.
Yeah, okay. So that's really a strong benefit. Also, one scenario I can think of is, let's say, a company not necessarily having a single ownership, but maybe a couple of shareholders.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Let's say 5-6 shareholders that owns one single property. All right. How will it be different if, let's say, you were to own under a name versus company in terms of offloading or selling?
Okay, so this is very interesting. We take a scenario.
Okay. Love your scenarios.
Yeah, today
Very relatable.
Yeah,
Very
because I
relatable.
also realized these days, the young people, I would say young, in their 30s, in their 40s.
Oh, that's me.
So the 30s and 40s, right? The PMET's level, right? maybe they already have some. They have their homes already. You see, they have their homes. But somehow between the brothers and sister, they were looking at each other. Actually, we have not spare cash. What to do? They said that, yeah, how do we combine force together?
We cup together.
We cup together lah. We
together.
cup together. So again, it's a vehicle, right? The company.
Yeah.
It's a separate legal entity. So you, me, with 3 other friends, we come together and then take, for example, each of us 20%. Okay, ma, buy a short house, 3 million. I don't know how much now.
No 3 million.
No
3 million you find for me.
No more. Okay.
For the audience there, you use 10 million as a...
Oh, 10 million. Okay. Let's use 10 million. Okay, then 10 million. And then the upfront payment equally share within the shareholders and maybe directors as well, and then the administrative costs. So it helps each of us to easily, come together and own as a company level. So then, setting up a company, in the event there is a dispute, we can always fall back to the company's act. What is the rights that we have? Can we just kick the director out like this? Or can we buy over the other person's shares and bet the person exit? At least there's a plan. There is something you can fall back, which is a company's act. So for such, arrangement, I strongly encourage, but I know in the practice, not many people actually practice this, which is when you and your friends really want to come in together to so-called co-share using a company to buy a property, at least draw some shareholder agreement.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that today, if I were to buy under a company, buy a property under a company versus buy under a name, if let's say I'm a shareholder, I own 20%, and say I don't want to hold on to the property already, I want to sell my 20% to another shareholder, that's possible, right?
It's possible, but you need to get consent.
Correct. I need to get consent, but assuming consent is gotten, selling my 20% share is possible.
It's possible. Yeah.
But versus if I were to hold this property as a name and I tenancy in common 20%, I can't do that.
This is a bit tricky. You have to really sell off, right?
Exactly.
You have to really sell.
I feel the ease of exit, depending on the share, when it comes to co-ownership, co-investing, I think this is it's a game changer. And when buying a property, it's always about long term. You don't buy a property that's speculating 3 to 6 months. You need to have a long term view about how you structure and how you strategize, because everybody's milestones, all shareholders may have different personal milestones, and they may have different holding power also. So
correct.
Owning the property under a company does have its own benefits as well.
Flexibility.
Correct. Great. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the compliance part. Okay, what are the? I think coastal compliance, of course, we definitely need to take some effort to comply. For the benefit of the audience, what are the compliance steps that government requirements, right, should we want to buy under a company that owners often overlook?
Wow. Okay. I would like to share this because to run a private limited company and to run a sole proprietor or LLP is very different. Yeah, it's very different. So recent years, I met a lot of business owners who are sole prop and LLP. They are very used to that simplicity. They are very used to, and they thought that, everything no need to do. Then it takes me some time to educate them. Okay, so sole proprietorship and LLP, put it this way. The ACRA, the law don't okay, every 1 or 3 years you need to renew the business. Right? It's either 1 year or 3 years. It depends. So what does it mean? It's not an auto renewal. So share another story. Just recently, a friend of mine who runs a sole proprietorship business, he came to me and, holy shit, Tina, I received this letter. I don't know what is it. Can you help me? So he is a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
He's a photographer. And I look at him and say, and I look at the letter, hey, you never renew. I said, I don't know, man. They said that. No, that's the thing. Because sole proprietorship and LLP, you don't need to have a corporate secretary. So you own self take care of yourself, basically. Yeah, you're self-responsible to it. And thereafter, when I look at it and he appoint me, I help him to do that transactions, the renewal. I realized that, holy shit, what have you done? Cannot renew that. Then he said that, how is it possible? I said something is very wrong. So I went further to understand the what's happening, right? So what happened? Apparently his business with ACRA has expired since 12 months ago. And I was like, do you know that, bro? The fact that your sole proprietorship has expired for more than 12 months, in aircraft record, you're considered dead. Then he was like, but my bank account still okay leh. I said that, yeah, but bank account and aircraft is different. They're not directly talking to each other, you see. It's a different department thing. Then I told him, hey bro, you cannot run your business, You have spent your whole 5 to 7 years building a brand that you have it in your social media, in Instagram. Everybody already know your company brand under your LLP, and now your LLP name cannot be used. I was like, then he asked me, how Then you just say, in Acro's book, it die, right? You cannot revive,
Revive,
It depends. It depends. Some private limited can revive.
Okay.
For that, right, I tried to appeal can. So he said, hey, then how He's still very calm, He said that, wow, your effort 5 to 7 years, right, spent on building your brand. How? I said, I tried another, you helped me to set out another sole proprietorship with similar name. And that is a challenging one, you see. It's not that you will get it one,
Yep.
Yeah, so you have to like ballot like that, go in a system and try whether you could have this name that you desire to have. Otherwise, you keep build another brand, another Instagram account.
Build a following right from zero.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, talking a little bit about, first of all, thanks for sharing that story. I think that really gives us a very good understanding of why you should continue to make sure you are on the toes when you are coming to Accra related things. So besides income tax savings or GST savings, are there any other kinds of savings that buyers should be aware about should they buy a property under a company?
This definitely when in a company, when we talk about share transfer, right? So again, the case, let's say now the Serangoon commercial property is owned by Jared, okay? Owned by Jared. And now Jared, for whatever reason, hey Tina, I'm straight off cash. Can I sell the property back to you? Like very fun. That is just an example, okay?
SSD or not? That's you.
This one, I don't know. I have to ask you already.
Commercial real estate not subjected to SSD.
Okay. So with that, definitely a lot of savings because during the share transfer, let's say Jared were to transfer the property to me, the share transfer stamp duty is only like
0.2%.
0.2%. Compared to owning a individual level, let's say Jared owns a commercial property in his personal name, were to transfer to me, it will be a 4%.
4%.
4%. So with that is, I would think is some savings we can keep in our pocket, else our income tax.
Okay, for your experience as a CorpSec, for many other private limited directors out there, what kind of advice do you give them? Don't know whether it's relevant or not, but what's a smart way do you feel like these people should integrate real estate into their company portfolio?
You mean their existing company, if they are a business owner?
Correct.
Definitely. So if let's say for myself, I've been running this company of mine, and I have generated it's called trade income, right? Legit trade income, and with that, for my business to go into purchasing a commercial property, the loan part, right? They will assess your business financial credibility. So this definitely will leverage on your purchase in comes to properties.
Okay, that's very good. What do you wish more property agents, right, or buyers understood about this side of ownership?
What I wish they know.
Basically, whatever you shared today, right? Do you think a lot of people are aware or not?
Actually, no leh. A lot of people don't know. So so I share another case again. Recently we have a friend who very happy, spot a dream commercial properties. And he was running creative agencies. And with that creative agencies, it's LLP, right? It's LLP. And he see that the very beautiful office, and he straight away, I like it, I want it now. He's very eager to just drop down the purchase directly with his LLP company. And the LLP is not GST registered. So, ouch. So what does it mean? Why I say ouch? Because if he would have, thought of a corp set to talk to. What we have done differently, number one, set a private limited company which is separate, right? That's number one. Make it GST registered. Action 2. Action 3, then you go after the letter of intent, right? To purchase. Why? Then once your GST registration is approved, you can use that company to purchase and you can claim back the GST that is going to pay. That's number one. Number two, having a separate legal entity, the private limited company, to owns a commercial property, he also uses the entity to earn some rental income.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if let's say at your personal level, from running your own business, you are already drawing a pretty fat income tax rate. And now with this additional rental income, it's going to add additional burden. So in a way that I would think is not cleverly structured, it could have done better to his benefit. So if he were to set up a private limited company and his rental income that he's going to subject to when it comes to the corporate tax is only 17%. When you set up a private limited company, you are exposed to the export a lot of other things that you could.
I think your line of work are very colorful. You see a lot of people.
As colorful as a shirt.
Right. I think we reached to the final question. I just want to tap on your golden expertise again. If there's one final golden tip you would like to share with our audience here, what would it be?
Always talk, find help, seek help, talk to your agents, and ask the right questions. If you don't know, ask your agent whether do they have the right network to speak to, broaden your understanding before jumping to the purchase. I think this is the clever steps.
That's right. Just to be honest, on a personal story, a lot of my clients, before I met Tina, I was also very unclear when it comes to buyers actually buying commercial properties. But after really getting to understand this whole proper structuring under proper guidance under COPSEC, this really transformed into a full suite of services that actually a lot of my clients now enjoy this value that I give them to properly own these properties in a more savvy manner. So thank you, Tina, for that. We've come to the final end of this episode. I want to thank the audience again for this tuning in. If you like what you see today, don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in today. Thank you very much, Tina, for joining us.
All right, thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.